with number 2, Native River, now the mount of Aidan Coleman, replacing Richard Johnson, who don't think it's anything serious other than feeling under the weather after the ride in our previous contest. So we'll try and confirm that, but the most important thing is that Aidan Coleman is aboard number 2, Native River. So 1 Bristol de Mai for Daryl Jacob, 2 Native River, Aidan Coleman, 3 Le Mercurey for Sam Twiston Davis, and 5 Gold Cup winners have won this race in the past, 3 in the same year. 2 miles, 7.5 furlongs, midway down the back straight, have them, because they'll leave the ground on the side of the racecourse, and that's what's going to happen here, with Native River leading by a length or so from Le Mercurey, and Bristol de Mai still held up at the rear of the trio. And again, they are all over that perfectly safely. So getting into a nice rhythm out in front, Native River, being kept honest by Le Mercurey, and Bristol de Mai, Daryl Jacobs got to decide exactly when he wants to play his hand. One would imagine it won't be too early. At the same time, he mustn't let Native River get too much of a track advantage over him. So the tactics of a 3-runner race can be fascinating despite the small fields, and Native River is now out on his own from Le Mercurey as they head up the home straight. Bristol de Mai is in 3rd place. Native River over from Le Mercurey and Bristol de Mai. Now we're setting into the rhythm really of the race. Native River having early on been taken on by Le Mercurey, heading towards the first of the open ditches, and in the centre of the trio, pops over it well. Le Mercurey and Bristol de Mai, Grey in 3rd place, working their way up the home straight. Then 3 fences to take up the home straight this time, culminating in the water jump. Native River, he is pricked, pops over that. From in 2nd place, Le Mercurey, and Bristol de Mai is still lobbing along. Native River out in front by just a couple of lengths. Bristol de Mai closing down on Le Mercurey outside as the runners step over that. Really good lead by Native River, just gave him another length or so advantage from Le Mercurey, and he's settling into his rhythm now for Aidan Coleman out in front. Le Mercurey kept him company early on, but he's now 3 lengths down. Bristol de Mai as they head towards the water jump, right in front of the grandstands here. Native River just looking for a stride and landed a bit steeply there. Just a little bit of miscommunication between horse and rider over the water jump, but they continue on safely, and they're just beginning to settle into a rhythm now. And Native River out on the front end from Le Mercurey, Bristol de Mai in 3rd place. So it's just settled down, Luke, into a sort of pattern here. Native River pressed early on, but he's now being able to dictate. The question is, can he run the finish out of the rivals, and when does he kick on?
Well, it's an interesting tactical battle, that is for sure. Bristol de Mai held up, which is not normally the way that he likes to run, Paddy, but Aidan, you'd have to say he's getting on well with Native River. Yeah,
exactly. Look, Daryl, as I said beforehand, he's tactically has a plan. That's what he's going to try and do, follow. But for me, Native River, Aidan's getting on beautiful with him, and if it continues like this, he'll win.
Yeah, and certainly the way that they're going now, they're just starting to wind things up now, Richard.
They are. Native River's got to decide when to press his proven stamina. He's beginning to crack on. 2nd place for Le Mercurey, still held on to Bristol de Mai. It's a further length back in 3rd place. Just put in a short one there, Bristol de Mai. The first time Daryl Jacob just wanted to ask the horse up to keep tabs on the front 2, and he put down, and that's just opened up a little bit of a gap. And Daryl trying to hold him together, nurse him back closer to Native River. Good leap there by Bristol de Mai. Le Mercurey continuing to split the 2, so we're heading towards the 6th last. This is the last on the far side. Native River out in front, pressed by Le Mercurey. Still Bristol de Mai, last of the trio, again jumping soundly. So they're preparing now to leave the back straight. Native River by half a length or so. Le Mercurey in 2nd, Bristol de Mai still a couple of lengths down. Daryl Jacob just keeping the horse nice and close, and now he's beginning to get involved. So he's managed to bridge the gap, which one stage was a couple of lengths, and you can see immediately he does so, and Bristol de Mai is amongst horses. You can see the increased interest. He picks up the bridle, and Daryl, that's what he wants to try and avoid happening too far out. So Native River heading up the side of the racecourse from Le Mercurey, and Bristol de Mai, who jumps himself right onto the heels now. As the pot begins to bubble, they make their turn back towards home. Native River, a quick glance by Aidan Coleman, sees Le Mercurey still in there. Bristol de Mai's now got himself right in that little pocket, travelling strongly, and will tow and slipstream Native River for as long as possible as they head towards the 4th last. So Native River, with Le Mercurey, to his credit, still coming for another crack, And still Darryl Jacobs sits quietly on Bristol Demai. Native River just searched for a stride there. Oh, they got in the way actually of Bristol Demai in the process, and the Mercurey travelling quite strongly up on the outside. So 3 to take. Native River from the left-hand side of the Mercurey. Bristol Demai on the inner was not great over that. Native River is now shaken up. The Mercurey for the shock, travelling every bit as well. Bristol Demai shaken up, hasn't picked up immediately. 2 from the finish. Native River is over from the Mercurey. Mistake by Bristol Demai at a crucial stage, and down towards the last they go. And Darryl Jacobs having to ask Bristol Demai, but Native River is forging on. Leads from the Mercurey in second place, then Bristol Demai. Native River didn't land with much momentum after the last, still leads. The Mercurey running a mighty race for the shock. It is Native River, however, who's shaken up, is finding plenty here and is beginning to pull away in the closing stages to win the Betfair Denman chase. A tactical affair, but Native River showed his versatility this afternoon, and in the hands of Aidan Coleman beats the Mercurey, with Bristol Demai disappointing back in third place. Well, he can do it in big class handicaps, Native River, when the tempo is strong. This was far more tactical, and under a different jockey, Aidan Coleman, Native River has, despite market weakness, prevailed in the battle. And shouldn't forget a good run by